Picture this. You are on a plane, window seat, clouds below you. Everything is normal. Then suddenly, a jolt. Then another, a loud crack. Everything shakes violently. And then, silence. When you open your eyes, you're lying on a beach. Jungle behind you, ocean in front of you, as far as you can see. No phone, no signal, no other person in sight. Just the sound of waves and your own heartbeat. So let me ask you something, right now. Seriously, if this happened to you tomorrow, what would you do? Do you actually know how to survive? Or do you just think you do? This isn't just a movie scenario. In 1982, Stephen Callahan's sailboat sank in the Atlantic Ocean. He survived 76 days alone on a small inflatable raft. In 2006, Mauro Prosperi got lost in the Sahara Desert for 9 days with almost no water. Both of them had one thing in common. They knew what to do. And today, I'm going to give you that same knowledge. In this video, we're going to cover everything. What to do in the first 24 hours that determines whether you live or die. How to find clean water when you have nothing. How to signal for rescue when nobody is even looking for you. And the hardest part of all, how to survive the battle inside your own head. The channel where we ask the questions the world forgets to ask. If you're new here, hit subscribe because what's coming next is going to get even bigger. Now, let's get into it. You're on the island, you're alone, and the clock has already started. The first 24 hours begin right now. The first thing that happens, panic. Your brain fires 1,000 questions in a single second. Is anyone looking for me? How long can I survive? Will rescue come? And here's the brutal truth. That panic can kill you. Because in a panicked state, humans make terrible decisions. They run into the jungle, they drink seawater, they waste energy, and they die. Survival rule number 1. Stop. Breathe. Think. Before you do anything at all, sit down for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Take deep, slow breaths. Let your brain settle. Those 5 minutes will save your life. Now, stand up and do a full 360-degree scan. Can you see a freshwater stream coming down from higher ground? Is there dense jungle that could provide shelter? Is there a high point where you could see the whole island? This first assessment shapes every decision that follows. It's still daytime. That's lucky, because surviving on a tropical island at night is 10 times harder. Nocturnal predators come out, temperatures drop. You lose your sense of direction completely in the dark. So use every minute of daylight you have. Move now. Plan now. Your first mission is shelter. Not food, not water. Shelter. Because spending even one night exposed to rain and wind can cause hypothermia. Hypothermia means your body temperature drops so low that your organs start shutting down. And yes, this happens in tropical places too, not just from cold, but from being wet. Building a shelter is easier than you think. Find large palm leaves in the jungle. Look for 2 trees close together or a large fallen log. Build a lean-to structure. One side open, one side covered with leaves. Layer the leaves like roof tiles. This takes about 30 minutes and it's enough for the first night. One critical rule about location. Never build your shelter directly on the beach. Tides can come in at night and flood it. Never go too deep into the jungle either. That's predator territory. The sweet spot is the edge of the jungle where it meets the beach. Elevated ground, just enough tree cover, good visibility. When your shelter is ready, get inside before dark. And I want to be honest with you about what that first night is going to feel like. Every sound will terrify you. Every rustle in the leaves, every splash in the water. Your brain will create worst-case scenarios on loop. That's completely normal. Every single survivor has felt exactly that, and they made it through. So will you. Now let's talk about the most important thing keeping you alive: water. A human being can survive 3 weeks without food. Without water, 3 days. And on a tropical island in that heat, maybe 2. Water is not a priority. Water is an emergency. The number one mistake that people make in this situation: drinking seawater. Do not do it, ever. Ocean water has so much salt that your kidneys cannot process it. It actually pulls water out of your cells to try to flush the salt. You become more dehydrated, faster. Drinking seawater is a death sentence. For fresh water, head into the jungle. Look for streams flowing down from higher elevation. These are generally safe to drink. Look for morning dew collected on large flat leaves. Run your hand along the leaves at dawn and lick the moisture off. It sounds basic, but it works. If it rains, and on a tropical island it will, do this immediately. Shape large leaves into funnels. Place any hollow object underneath: a coconut shell, a piece of bark, anything. 30 minutes of tropical rain can give you an entire day's worth of drinking water. And this is the cleanest water you can possibly get, straight from the sky. Now let's talk about coconuts, because this is genuinely remarkable. Green coconut water is nature's purest electrolyte drink. During World War II, doctors actually used coconut water as an emergency substitute for blood plasma when medical supplies ran out. It is that compatible with the human body. One coconut can keep you hydrated for an entire day. If you find them, you've found gold. Now, food. Here's something that surprises most people. You can survive 3 weeks without eating anything. So food is not your emergency in the first 48 hours. Water is, shelter is, signal is. Once those are handled, then you think about food. On a tropical island, these are generally safe. Coconuts, bananas, papaya, wild figs. Here is the easiest rule you'll ever learn. If birds are eating it, you can eat it too. Birds and humans share very similar digestive tolerances. Avoid anything that causes burning or numbness in your mouth immediately. Spit it out. Avoid brightly colored insects on a plant. That's nature's warning sign. For protein, fishing is your best option, even without any equipment. Sharpen a stick into a spear using a rock. Wade into shallow reef areas at low tide. Fish gather there. Better yet, look for tidal pools, those small pools left behind by the tide on the rocks. They trap small fish and crabs that you can catch with your bare hands. It's slower, but it works. Fire is not just for cooking. Fire is your signal. Fire is your protection. Animals are instinctively afraid of fire, even large predators. To make fire without tools, find dry wood. Place a flat piece on the ground. Take a pointed stick and drill it fast between your palms against the flat wood. It takes patience, 10 to 15 minutes. Your arms will burn, but fire will come. It always comes. Here is the single biggest mistake that stranded people make. They wait. They sit on the beach and assume someone will find them. They do nothing active to make themselves visible, and they die waiting. You have to make rescue happen. Nobody's going to stumble upon you by accident. Your first active step: write SOS on the beach. Make the letters massive, at least 10 feet tall. Use rocks, logs, seaweed, anything with contrast against the sand. Search and rescue aircraft fly specific grid patterns over ocean areas. Pilots and satellites are trained to spot exactly this. This one simple act has saved hundreds of lives. At night, keep a fire burning on the beach. Visible flames travel far over open water. During the day, smoke is more important than flame. To make thick black smoke, add wet leaves, green vegetation, anything damp. Black smoke against a blue sky is visible from miles away. Coast Guard and rescue aircraft specifically look for smoke columns over uninhabited areas. If you have any reflective surface, use it. A broken phone screen, a belt buckle, a piece of foil, even still water and a shell. Angle the reflection toward any aircraft or ship you can see. A signal mirror can be seen up to 10 miles away in clear conditions. The military still trains soldiers in this technique because it works. Always signal from the highest point you can safely reach. From a hilltop, a passing ship can spot you from 20 miles away. From the beach, that same ship can only see you from 3 miles. High ground multiplies the range of every signal you send. Here is something most people never think about. Nature does not make straight lines. Forests, beaches, rocks, everything is curved and irregular. So if you arrange logs or stones into large straight lines or geometric shapes, any rescue aircraft flying over will immediately notice it. It looks wrong, it looks human, and that is exactly the point. One more critical thing about rescue: be consistent. Light your signal fire at the same time every day. Maintain your SOS. Don't let it wash away without rebuilding it. Rescue operations follow search schedules. If your signal is missing on one pass, they may eliminate that area and move on. And I want to be honest with you about rescue timelines. The average time for maritime rescue is 3 to 7 days, sometimes longer. That is a long time when you are alone and scared. But every survivor who made it through will tell you the same thing. The moment they stopped waiting and started actively working toward rescue, that was the moment things changed. We have covered water, food, shelter, rescue. But none of that matters if this kills you first. And what I'm about to tell you is more dangerous than any predator on that island. More dangerous than hunger or thirst. Your own mind. Research on solitary confinement shows that within just 3 days of isolation, the human brain begins to deteriorate. Hallucinations start, voices appear. The line between what is real and what is imagined begins to blur. In a survival situation, a confused mind makes fatal decisions. This is not weakness, this is biology. Stephen Callahan, the man who survived 76 days alone in the Atlantic. He was asked later, what was the hardest part? Not the hunger, not the thirst, not the sharks circling his raft. He said the hardest part was talking to himself, making decisions alone, and choosing to believe every single day that someone was out there looking for him. That belief kept him alive. Here is what psychologists recommend for extreme isolation. Build a routine, an actual daily schedule. Wake up, collect water, check shelter, work on signals, find food, rest, repeat. A structured routine keeps your mind occupied, and an occupied mind does not spiral into darkness. And this might sound strange, but do this. Talk to yourself out loud. I know, it feels like something a crazy person does, but here's the science. When you verbalize your thoughts, you activate the prefrontal cortex. That is the part of your brain responsible for rational decision-making. Talking through your plans out loud literally keeps your brain functioning at a higher level. It keeps you sharp, and sharp minds survive. Here's another technique that sounds absurd until you understand why it works. Name things around you. Give that tree a name. Name that rock. Name that tidal pool. What this does is create emotional anchors in your environment. It shifts your brain from perceiving the island as a threatening foreign place to perceiving it as a space you know, a space that's somewhat yours. That psychological shift is more powerful than it sounds. And finally, hope. Hope is not just a feeling. It is a measurable biological state. When you maintain hope, your body produces less cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone that suppresses your immune system, slows healing, and depletes your energy reserves. Less cortisol means a stronger immune system, faster recovery, more physical energy. Hope literally makes you physically stronger. This is not motivational talk. This is science. And if nothing else is working, if the darkness is getting too heavy, do this one thing. Picture the faces of the people waiting for you at home. Your family, your friends, someone who needs you to come back. Pick one person and make one decision. I am going home to them. That single thought, That single decision has kept more people alive than any survival technique ever invented. So let's bring it all together. First 24 hours, don't panic. Stop, breathe, think. Build shelter before dark. Water first, always. Coconuts, rainwater, jungle streams, never seawater. Food can wait. Birds eating it means you can too. Signal octavely. SOS on the beach, signal fire, high ground, straight lines. And protect your mind. Routine. Talk out loud. Hope. Think of home. Now, I want to hear from you. Seriously, leave a comment right now. If you were dropped on an island tomorrow with nothing, what is the first thing you would actually do? There's no right or wrong answer. I genuinely want to know. And one more honest thing before I go. Knowing this information and actually doing it under pressure are two very different things. If you want to be truly prepared, take a basic wilderness survival course or try camping one night without your phone. You'll learn more about yourself in those few hours than in any video you've ever watched. If you found this video interesting, you are going to want to see what's next. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Like this video if it taught you something real today, and share it with someone you think actually needs to know this stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay curious, stay prepared.